Hey there cruisers, Shane from SW Black Travel here, and today we're back at White Bay Cruise Terminal, and today we're going to go on a Viking Orion. Check out all the public spaces, going to have a look at a few cabins, so stick around, let's get on board, see what we can see, let's go. Okay, so the Viking Orion, named after the constellation Orion the Hunter. This ship was built in 2018, has a passenger capacity of 930. Now before we get on board, don't forget to subscribe for future ship inspections and cruise tips. And if you're feeling generous, don't forget to drop a like on this video. Okay, so without further ado, let's get on board. Okay, so as we head on board, we're in this area on deck 1 called the living room. The first thing that struck me was this felt more like a hotel rather than a ship. And it was interesting to learn that that's exactly how it was designed. Viking wanted their ships to feel more like hotels rather than ships, and all of these ships are built the same. So if you're on the Viking Orion or you're on Viking whatever, it's going to feel familiar. Here you can see this lovely Steinway & Sons piano situated here in the lobby, I guess you call it, and that behind it is the midship elevators, which again, it doesn't look like the typical elevator shaft in a ship. It is well designed. Here's another view of the lobby or atrium, and again, it does feel very much like a hotel rather than a ship. So from the lobby, we did head along past the shops or boutiques. And you can see here that there is a variety of items for sale, whether that's to commemorate your trip or to decorate your home or to add to your jewelry collection. There's a lot to choose from. Now next to the shop was the hair salon, so if you are on board for an extended stay, you can get your hair done so that you can keep looking your best. Now moving right along, we head to the LivNordic Spa and Fitness. Stopping first at the fitness area. You see this is a big, spacious area, plenty of equipment, lots of room. Get a workout in while you're on board. Just a nice little touch, fireplace here heading into the spa area. Now heading into the spa, we have these lounges, I guess you'd call them, where you can sit back and relax. Here's the whirlpool with the fire behind it, lounges to the side. It is an area that does exude relaxation. There's a nice little water feature, adds to the relaxing feel. Now this is the steam room. Yeah, it's pretty dark in here, so it's not going to be the best video footage, but it was indeed steamy, it was indeed hot, and if you've ever done a steam room, the idea is that you're sitting here for a while before jumping into a cold shower, or in the case of Viking, you can jump into the snow grotto, which is this area here, and you can see that there is actually snow in this little room, ice on the door there. And I jumped in just to see how cold it was, and I can assure you it was indeed cold. So here you would jump into the steam room, come across here to cool off, and then jump in the steam room again. And once you're done, sit on these heated chairs to relax, let your body adjust. Now here the whirlpool is just activated so you can see what it looks like in action. On the way out, I did notice this, which is a cold bucket shower. So essentially it's like a wooden bucket. You pull the chain there and it would pour cold water on you. Don't know why you would do it, but hey, if that's your thing, go for it. Viking are catering for you. Now just heading out of the spa. As we moved around the ship, we did see a lot of this, which is Scandinavian inspired art. Again, this elevator area feels more hotel than ship. You see the Scandinavian inspired wood design coming through, as well as the art here. Now we head towards the Star Theatre, which is the main entertainment space on board. See here that there is seating for several hundred people. This is where they have shows, lectures, and other items. This is the expansion seating at the back. And a nice little touch was the pillows, which had famous Scandinavian actresses and actors on them. I wasn't familiar with any of their work, so I couldn't recognise anyone, but I'll take their word for it. Yeah, just heading out of the theatre, you see a bar situated just at the front entry area of the theatre. Now further along on deck 2, there are more shops, just in case you needed somewhere else to spend some money and buy some more souvenirs, all small little luxuries. Now we're going to head into Torshavn, which I don't know if I pronounced that name right, but let's run with it. This is a spectacularly appointed entertainment venue. See here there is instruments set up for a bit of evening entertainment, as well as plenty of seating space so you can catch up with new friends or old. Just picture yourself sitting on one of these comfortable chairs, listening to a band play while enjoying an evening cocktail. This is the bar area, again beautifully designed. Definitely noticeable on Viking ships, the design is very intentional, very elegant. For example, this light installation, I liked. Yeah, this is the Atrium. See the piano down, that's where we were standing earlier in the video. This is the big screen at the top of the stairs, which does appear to be location specific. So whilst we were on board, they were showing a lot of Australia-based items since we were in Australia, I guess. This is the seating area within the Atrium, or the lobby area on deck 2. Again, it's very comfortable. The design is immaculate. An interesting little point, notice all the chairs are square chairs. Apparently the founder of Viking believed that you should only ever have square chairs because a man needs to have somewhere to put his jacket and a woman needs somewhere to hang her bag. So you'll never find a round back chair on a Viking ship. Whether that's true or not, too sure. But the wonderful Trent from Viking did impart that snippet of information, so I'm going to believe him. You can see here there is plenty of space to spread out, find your own little area on the Viking Orion to relax or catch up with friends. Now this was an interesting little spot. This was almost like a museum which had some artifacts and items in it relating to Viking heritage. If I had more time, I'd have loved to have wandered around here and just do a bit more reading, but still it was very interesting, even if I just passed by. Here's another elevator area, just highlighted the design. Next we're heading into the restaurant, which is the main dining area. On entry you can see wine towards the side, lots to choose from. There's art throughout the ship, which I certainly enjoyed. As we look around the dining area, you'll see there are plenty of table configurations set up so that you're always going to find a table to suit your party size. You can also see stairs that head down to the deck below. And a bar area. Now in your Viking cabin, you will have a headset. So we'll have this little headset icon next to them. You can learn more about that specific artwork if it interests you. Another view of the restaurant. And you see how far it goes back. There is lots of space for all guests on board to come here and enjoy a meal. Something that struck me as I was looking around the restaurant was that it looks very comfortable. You see the padded lounges, square back chairs all appear to be padded, and it does look like somewhere that you can sit down, have a nice, relaxing, comfortable meal. Again, very intentional to design here. You can see the lights, the roof, the art installations, paintings on the wall, all the little touches. Viking really is about details. This is just another quick look at the bar area we saw earlier. Next we're going to head down to the chef's table, which is one of the specialty dining restaurants on board. I'm told that the cuisine here changes a lot, so you might experience various was Asian-inspired cuisine. And Trent did also mention that he experienced a Mexican night here as well. You can see that the design in here is slightly different to the restaurant. It's distinct to really separate the spaces. Wine again takes center stage in the area to really elevate the space and show that this is an area where it's about enjoying yourself with a nice meal and an even better glass of wine. The art again is intentional, as you can see with this series of images on the wall. Next is the kitchen table. Now, the kitchen table is more of a shore excursion than a dining option, purely because it's an interactive culinary experience that combines shopping, cooking, and dining. So what will happen is that the chef and his staff will take you to a local market to select ingredients. From there, you come back to the ship and you learn to prepare regional cuisine in the private kitchen here. And then finally, you'll enjoy a private meal with wine pairings and observe the plating techniques. So this experience is pretty unique. It's not offered on every itinerary, I'm told, and on some it might only be offered once or twice. So do keep an eye out for the kitchen table option. I personally really liked the design and the feel and the vibe of this little area. Next, we're going to head to Manfredi's. And a fun little fact about Manfredi's is that it's actually named after the former owner of Silversea Cruises. In Manfredi's, you can enjoy Italian cuisine. Now, the area itself really does feel like you're dining in a traditional Italian restaurant. As we move through the area, you can see here that there's two almost separated spaces. And make note of that red door in the back. We're going to come back to that. That red door opens up to something interesting. Now this here is Manfredi, the former owner of Silversea Cruises, and also in this image is Torshavn, who is the founder of Viking, naming the Italian restaurant Manfredi's. It's a bit of a nod to the friendship between the two. And that's another important little thing. With Viking, there always seems to be a little story behind a lot of the things that they do, or a lot of the design. And so as you learn more about a ship, it's almost like you're learning the lore of how things came to be on that particular ship and within Viking itself. Here's that red door, but this time we're on the other side, and this is a little private dining area. Now I counted the chairs, it seats up to 12, and I think it'd be much more comfortable with 10 in here. See that it's designed with wine on display, and you can see the table has a cover over it. If we peel that cover back, you'll see a spectacular wooden table. Now I'm told that the wood on this table is taken from the same tree as the wood on tables in other Viking ships, and the idea is if all the Viking ships ever get back together, then they would be reassembling the tree. Next, we headed up onto the Lido deck, and this was the view from White Bay Cruise Terminal looking towards the beautiful city of Sydney. And we only got to check out one cabin on this ship inspection, which was 8002. So cabin 8002 is a penthouse junior suite that can accommodate up to 2 guests. You can see that it has a separate sitting area to the sleeping area. And there's a fair bit of space, 2 TVs, so you can decide whether to lay in bed and watch TV or sit on the lounge and watch TV. I did sit on the lounge, it was indeed comfortable. I didn't try out the bed. Now this was a nice little touch in the cabin. This is a photo taken obviously in New York, and then this next to it you can see that a child has created a picture of that image or of that photo, and the Viking have combined those and put it within the cabin. Each cabin has its own artwork. See the balcony here, decent size, deck chairs and table set up for 2 guests. Here's the bathroom area of the cabin. It's a large bathroom. Again, it's wonderfully designed. There's a coffee machine in the room, in case you didn't want to head out and grab your coffee from outside. Next, we're heading into Mamsen's, which is a more casual dining option. We can come and grab a bite to eat. This is the Explorer's Lounge, which looks out over the bow of the ship. There's a bar area here so you can grab a drink, find an available seat, and watch the world pass by, or just check out the sights of the port that you're visiting for the day. Now this is an area called the Wintergarden. Here they have afternoon high tea, and going back to that, almost the lore behind the design here. Apparently the founder of Viking Torshavn was in this area and he was looking up the roof and he's like, something needs to be in this area. So what they did was they designed to almost be like a tree. You see the wood running up the supporting poles here and then the branches spreading out across the roof to really break up the area. It really does give it that Scandinavian feel. The Wintergarden is next to the outdoor pool. You see the roof retracts so you can swim no matter the conditions outside. It is a very inviting space. Looks very relaxing, very comfortable. I could certainly picture myself sitting here with a nice glass of wine. All Viking inspired design here, the ravens. This is the pool area. You can see here there's lots of lounges around the pool, retractable roof, and a seating area around the sides. This is the pool bar, where you can grab a drink and relax by the pool. Next we head into World Cafe, which is another casual dining option on board. See plenty of seating options here. Again, square back chairs. You see the food is lined up to the right there, on the right of the screen. Is where you would line up to select and collect your food. Here is a brief selection of what was on offer today. Some sauces, some meat, some sandwiches.
There you have it, that was Viking Orion. We didn't get to see many cabins purely because the sailing's pretty sold out, so we only got to see one cabin. We saw a lot of the public areas. There's a few that I skipped purely because there's a lot of guests on board. If you want to take a video of guests and sitting around by the pool, hopefully that was helpful. If you've got any questions, drop them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video. You may as well subscribe if you've made it this far. And until next time, keep cruising.